Okay, so here's part two of the TYT sensationalizing that guns are bad now. So,
Oh, Geraldo, what are you?
and Geraldo says it's the hoodie's fault. It's just as much the hoodie's fault as it is Zimmerman's, which is that is the stupidest thing I probably ever heard. I mean, Geraldo's is just as big an idiot as this guy is right here.
Doing? That's a ridiculous thing to say.
You've got Zimmerman on his...
Now here's Larry Pratt. Now I've watched 4 or 5 reports from the Young Turks about this incident, and it's all Zimmerman's a racist. They said fucking coons on the call, on the 9/11 call, which I have yet to hear. I'll look for it. But now he's got Larry Pratt on. This guy is a hero to gun owners because, of course, guns are bad. It's not the people who have them. It's the guns are bad. The inanimate object, because again, if you misspell a word, it's the pencils. We need to ban pencils because pencils misspell words. It's not you. You know, it's not Zimmerman that killed Trayvon. It's the gun. The gun jumped out of his waistband or wherever the hell he had it, and it shot at its own free will, and it shot Trayvon Martin. So here he starts going on this rant against Larry Pratt, and just listen to this.
back getting the tar beat out of him.
Okay, so Larry Pratt's saying if I'm on my back and someone's beating the tar out of me, I'm gonna pull my gun. So this is the first time I'm hearing that they even got in a fight on TYT. I mean, they just made it sound like he ran up to him and shot him in the chest, or nowhere ever did they mention that they got in a physical fight. And now this is the first time I'm hearing he's got Larry Pratt on. Larry Pratt says if I'm on my back and someone's beating the tar out of me, that he's going to pull his gun. Hello? I can understand that. If you're being overpowered and you're being struck in the head, you have a good chance of dying. So legally you can stand your ground. If you're on your back especially, you can stand your ground. That's the whole point of self-defense. Again, Zimmerman's an idiot. He shouldn't have followed the guy. He called the police, but he wanted to be a cowboy. And he should have been arrested, and he should be thoroughly investigated. So this is the first time I'm hearing that there was actual physical altercation, and according to Larry Pratt, Zimmerman was on his back being beaten. I don't know how true that is, but listen to Jenks rant now about this.
And at that point, he makes a reasonable action to defend himself. If you jump on top of me and you start beating the tar out of me, and I can get my hand on my gun, count on it. I'm going to shoot you.
All right, fantastic. Now I know that I can stalk your ass, and if you dare fight back,
do you hear that? Now he's twisting it around. He's saying that now he's allowed to stalk people, and if they fight back, stalk people, and if they fight back, stalk people, and if they fight back. Yes, Zimmerman was following Trayvon Martin. Now, what led to the actual fight, which you can't seem to find in any of these mainstream media, is what happened then? Was there an argument? Did Trayvon just jump on him? Did Zimmerman provoke him to death? This guy is the biggest sensationalist, especially when it comes to guns. Again, it's the gun laws, the gun laws, the guns, the gun laws, the guns, the gun laws. If Zimmerman stabbed Trayvon Martin to death with a knife, with a butter knife, let's say, this guy would go on the air and say, "Oh, we got to ban silverware, man. You can't stand your ground with a butter knife." I mean, I can't believe that Zimmerman is racist. Stabbed somebody with a butter knife. All butter knives need to go. No more butter knives. And then someone will kill somebody with a spoon. You know, all spoons need to go. All forks need to go. You're gonna have to start eating with your hands because someone used a set of silverware to kill somebody.
Sorry, I could put a bullet right in your chest, and they go, "Oh, so bad. Oh, he fought back.
He fought back. See, he's insinuating that Zimmerman started the actual altercation. And where's he getting this information from? Because nowhere have I seen that Zimmerman went and started the physical altercation. How did it start? This is the part they keep skipping over and over and over again. Did Zimmerman throw the first punch? Did Trayvon throw the first punch? Was he beating him with the can over the head? Did Zimmerman have was Zimmerman on top of him? Who started it? You know, et cetera, et cetera. Details they leave out. They're just using this as an opportunity to blast an inanimate object called a handgun. They can't stand that people are walking around with guns because 23 more people out of 15 million that live in Florida had justifiable homicide shootings. And again, he presented no evidence that they weren't justifiable. Now he's going off on a hero to the Second Amendment, saying that he can stalk them, and if you fight back, he can shoot you in the chest, which is not what he was saying. He's saying if someone was on top of me beating me, I could pull my gun, and then he turned it into something else.
Skittles in his pocket, he fought back. That guy with the tie-down.
There he goes, Skittles in his pocket and iced tea. Again, give me a can of iced tea against unarmed jank, and I could beat him to death with a can of iced tea. Whether he believes that or not, I guarantee you, if I was on top of jank, Stank, whatever his name is, and beating him with a 22-ounce iced tea, he would wish he had a gun on him. I guarantee you that.
White honky, I shot him dead.
And then there you go, white honky. It's all racial.
Identified as white, so I thought I might clear that up.
No, you've been identified as white. You're encouraging vigilantism.
You're encouraging vigilantism. No, he's not encouraging vigilantism. Is that even a word? He's saying if someone had him on his back, this is all he said, and he's twisted it and everything else. He said if someone had him on his back and was beating the tar out of him, he would use his gun in self-defense. He didn't say nothing about stalking people. He didn't say nothing about starting fights. He didn't say nothing about being racist. You're saying all that. You're creating all this racial tension.
Beyond belief, you say, hey, you know what? Go stalk anyone you like with a gun.
Go stalk anyone you like with a gun. Nobody has said that except you, Stanky. No one has said go stalk people with a gun, Stanky. The stand your ground laws are for law-abiding citizens to not have to run like little bitches if they're faced with actual danger to their life or limb. Do you understand that? You have no concept of the idea behind liberty and standing your ground, and your house is your house, and your property is your property, and your life is your life. And you can defend it with force, lethal force. Of course you don't like that. It's too much responsibility for you.
They dare fight back with Arizona iced tea or Skittles.
See, even there you go, Arizona iced tea. Those are them big, tall, pound-and-a-half iced teas. I guarantee you, Stanky, I could bludgeon you to death with an iced tea. I'm not saying that's what Trayvon did. Again, there is no details. All they say is at some point they got into a fight. At some point they got into a fight. By the time the police get there, it's all hearsay. So maybe that's why their hands were tied in arresting Zimmerman.
Shoot them! You're telling everybody to go become shooters.
You're telling everyone to go become shooters. He doesn't let them get a word in. He totally spins what Pratt said and turns it into, you're telling everyone to go shoot people, to be racist. I mean, this guy's so full of shit, it's unbelievable.
Dangerous person, Larry.
Larry's a dangerous person. The only one looking dangerous right now is you. Sensationalizing scenarios that no one encouraged, no one promoted. You're acting insane.
NRA, Alec, you get people killed on a
oh my God. He's saying that people who defend the Second Amendment get people killed. Wrong answer, buddy. Dumbasses like Zimmerman are 1 in a million. You know, there is a such thing as justifiable homicide, and if you take away the stand your ground laws, that means I cannot stand my ground legally against the threat of force, which I would anyway, but it'll be illegal for me to defend my life. You're a dumbass, Stank.
Daily basis.
That's a bunch of bullshit, that rant. You see how he took Larry Pratt's words and spun them around? Again, he said that if he was on his back being beaten, that he would use his gun in self-defense. And he turned it into, you're telling people to become vigilantes, you're telling people to stalk other people with guns. No one ever said that, TYT. No one ever said that. You guys are taking this this tragedy and turning it into a whole stop people who own guns. Don't let people carry guns. Don't let people buy guns. Restrictions, restrictions, restrictions. That's not how a constitutional republic works. So now let me get to this clip, because these guys are two more douchebags, two more young turds I haven't seen before. Let me rip into them real good.
We've not been talking about the gun issue as it pertains to this case. This is a glaring example of how gun laws in America have really gone off the rails, how this is precisely why we have gun laws. This is precisely why someone like Jeb Bush, his endorsement mattering yesterday was more than just a coincidence. Jeb Bush signed into law in Florida the Stand Your Ground law. The Stand Your Ground law allowing anyone in any place, if they are legally in that place.
Legally in that place.
And I feel like it's, I don't know who that eliminates, if it's a 17-year-old in a bar or not. But Lucas, if somebody is any place in Florida, in the state of Florida, and many other states because of this, we'll get to the reasons why, they can really shoot anyone.
Yeah.
There you go. Because of this law, they could really shoot anyone. Now, are you joking me? So they passed this law, now I can go shoot anyone? Who is this douchebag? Who are these guys? How did they become so popular? Did you hear that? Because of this law, now anyone can go shoot anyone. Oh!
As long as they say they feel threatened.
Exactly.
Oh, as long as they say they feel threatened. That's all there is to it. I felt threatened, that's why I shot that guy. Oh, that's BS.
Like anywhere that you are legally occupying space, if you feel threatened, feel that your life is, in danger, by your own estimation.
By your own estimation, my ass. That's not by your own estimation. That's to be determined in a court, in front of a jury, and that's why most people don't pull their gun unless they absolutely have to, because their life's gonna turn into a kangaroo court circus. So again, they're making the little stupid faces and the little stupid hand gestures, and they're sensationalizing that anyone can shoot anyone in Florida because 23 more people had justifiable shootings last year, from way up from 13.
Then yes, you can go ahead and shoot somebody.
This is precisely why George Zimmerman is not in jail today. This is the kind of law.
See, again, the law is why Zimmerman's not in jail. That's not why he's not in jail. The police dropped the ball. That's why he's not in jail. The Sanford police dropped the ball. Somebody dropped the ball. Zimmerman dropped the ball. Somebody dropped the ball. There's more than just this stand your ground law.
That somebody, a Republican governor, and it's interesting because you see only in states with Republican governors does this happen.
Oh, there we go again. Republican, right-wingers, conservative, crazies, kooks. It's all right and left with these people. Nobody else exists outside of liberals and conservatives, according to TYT and almost every major media network.
In states with Republican governors do we see voter ID laws being put into place. So if you don't think it matters, if you think the only elections that matter occur every 4 years in this country, you are so unbelievably wrong, because these laws matter. It's because they're enacted by and signed off on by Republican governors in Republican states, and I think that Florida is a perfect example of what that is. So the NRA wants this law, of course, in every state. So when you support the NRA, you're supporting people who say that these stand your ground laws have to happen in every state. For example, National Rifle Association is pressing these stand your ground laws in states all over the country, the kind that killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin.
Oh, there you go again. The kind of law that killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin.
Or allowed him to die.
Or allowed him to die. You see how the spin works? Anyway, the NRA is BS. They've actually helped pass gun laws. They've been compromised. TYT, you see they're spin jobbing, they're sensationalizing, they're inflating figures, they're saying the justifiable homicides that occurred after the law weren't justifiable with any evidence to show that. You see Stank going off on Pratt. Pratt said, if I was on my back being beaten to a pulp, I would pull my gun, and so would I, and so would anyone else that had a gun on them. Even you, Stank, even the rest of you turds, if someone's beating you to death, and especially if they have something in their hand and they're beating you with a rock, a knife, whatever the case may be, a hunk of metal, you would pull your gun in self-defense. So here again, I just love to hate the TYT. I'm out of time. I could rip on these dudes all day and go through the whole video, but I'll put the links in the description. And don't be fooled by this big BS. This is all a distraction, because they don't mind when the soldiers are going over there and murdering millions of Middle Eastern people. And their buddy Obama's dropping missiles on American citizens and murdering American citizens. They don't rant and rave about that. They're worried about something when it went totally wrong in Sanford, and many people dropped the ball in this case, and TYT included. Thanks for watching John Filax Report. Bye.